Thank you, chairpersons, and good morning to all. Management of glaucoma is one of the challenging problems in the field of ophthalmology. Even after so many investigations and examination, some of the time we will not be able to come to a conclusion about the disease. That's why we have a entity called glaucoma suspect. And surgical management of glaucoma is entirely different from cataract management. This we have to insist on the patient because the expectation will be very high, and in glaucoma surgery there will not be any appreciable benefit to the patient like cataract. In the next few minutes I will be giving an overview of the various glaucoma surgical procedures and their merits and demerits. And the primary objective of glaucoma surgery is to control intraocular pressure and to restore the visual function and other problems. And of course, the certain rules we have to follow just to make sure the patient need surgery, because this is not that like medical management where you can start, but surgery doing is easy, but how to follow and how to make it successful is one of the important things. And also consider the other things like systemic health and lifestyle, and also better not to try a rare or new procedure and burn your finger. A good counseling is very, very important, and we should not give a false hope to the patient, and also unrealistic expectation we should not give. And also we have to insist on the need for further medication and lifelong follow-up. And an ideal surgery, all of you know very well, it should be easy to do and with minimum complications, with good intraocular pressure control, long-term success, and you should have a stable optic nerve head and visual field, and also you should not require any further medications. And of course, these are the various types of surgery, all of you know very well, and it can be through internal approach, internal or external approach, or there are so many other there's like inflow procedures where you reduce the aqueous humor production, and also outflow procedures like where you increase the aqueous humor drainage from the eye to the subconjunctival space. There's so many surgical procedures. These are all of you know very well. And currently, the treatment of choice surgery procedure of choice is the trabeculectomy, and there are various other procedures in the field is in non-penetrating and various procedures. Trabeculectomy, of course, is a gold standard, and for the past 3 decades, everywhere all over the world, they are doing, and easy to do and faster, and also it's cost-effective and shorter learning curve. And it has got wider indications, not like other non-penetrating surgery where it can be done only for open angle. Here we can do for all types of primary as well as secondary glaucomas. But main thing is we have to be careful about its, how to make it success rate is very limited in certain situations, and this, of course the complications also. And this, one of the important complications of anti-glaucoma, this trabeculectomy, is scarring of the filtration near site, and this can be you can overcome by use of antimetabolites, especially 5-FU and mitomycin, but make sure that you know how to use it and when to use it, how much, and also how to manage if you have any complications with antimetabolites. And of course, the releasable suture is another thing where, because in glaucoma surgery we don't need to have a shallow chamber in the immediate post-operative period. So for that you can put a tight releasable suture so that you will not have any early post-operative shallow chamber. Or we can do a tight suture, interrupted suture, and depending upon the need we can do a laser suture lysis. So these are the 2 things we have to keep in mind when you do a trabeculectomy. And of course the other complications, as I mentioned, the scarring and hypotony, and of course the blood-related complications, especially when you use antimetabolite, are also very high, and the failure, of course. And there are various the list of complications with glaucoma trabeculectomy, especially when you use antimetabolite like mitomycin and this one. And this one is also again is a drastic complications of this trabeculectomy with MMC. And these certain risk factors like younger individuals, high myopia, all pigmented glaucoma, all these individuals, you should know how to use this deadly weapon. The alternative to trabeculectomy is now wherever suppose a multiple trabeculectomy fails, there we have some other options of the glaucoma drainage devices. This is for the past 3 decades. There's so much of developments have happened in this field, starting with the Martino implants to now we have the AGV as well as the Barwells, and of course we have manufactured our own RD implant, which is currently used by many of the fellow surgeons. And of course, even though it's a very good result in early stage, the failure rate is very, very high. Even 5-year follow-up, the failure rate, the success rate is almost limited to 55%. But the complications are very high, like shallow chamber and diplopia and the erosion, conjunctival erosion, and as well as the corneal decompensation is very high with this type of procedures. And so the future, the new sun designs with better control of flow and new materials, and also to form the capsule, able to modulate the capsule formation, and also they are going to incorporate some IOP sensor and drug delivery system. The goal for the future is to have a better intraocular pressure control to avoid blub creation and also minimize the complications. As a result, there are so many other procedures like non-penetrating glaucoma surgery have come to the picture, like viscocanalostomy, deep sclerectomy, and other things, and also canaloplasty. And some of the other minimally penetrating like eye stent and trabectome are also done by some of the person in the other developing countries. The principle, of course, to bypass the inner wall of the Schlemm's canal, and the main thing is to have to do a 2 scleral flap, the inner flap and the outer flap. Inner flap should be excised. There are 3 important procedures: viscocanalostomy and canaloplasty and sclerectomy, deep sclerectomy. But canaloplasty has become more popular than the other 2 procedures. It's almost like an ocular version of angioplasty. Instead of cleaning the artery, fine catheter is used to clean up the Schlemm's canal 360 degree. A fine 250 micron catheter is introduced into the Schlemm's canal, and now there are so many illuminated tips are also available, but it's very, very expensive. And usually we will keep a 10-0 Prolin suture in the Schlemm's canal permanently. And this will act as a stent inside this one, so that you will have a patent Schlemm's canal and you will have very good drainage of the aqueous humor. And of course, the advantages is 360-degree treatment, and possible conversion to trabeculectomy is very easy. But disadvantages are many, because it's not that easy like trabeculectomy. You need a special skill. You must know about the limbal anatomy and other things, and also the permanent suture in the Schlemm's canal. We don't know what will happen in long term. That's disadvantages. The merits, of course, is minimally invasive and lesser complications, and visual recovery is fast. We are not entering into the anterior chamber, and better quality of life. But these are all the demerits of non-penetrating. It's a prolonged learning curve, and of course the cost factor, especially in countries like us, the cost factor is also one of the things we have to keep in mind. The novel other surgical procedures like eye stent, which we can introduce into the Schlemm's canal through a Bintona route, is also very expensive, but the success rate is not that high. And trabectome is, of course, is another thing where you do a cleavage of the trabecular meshwork with a laser through the anterior chamber. It's a minimally invasive procedure, but it has got disadvantage because the closure of the cleft is very, very common, and access to Schlemm's canal is also very much limited. So the role in Indian context is, of course, a long learning curve and time-consuming. Cost is a factor. Conflicting results are minimal indications. So still the gold standard in our setup, our scenario is the our trabeculectomy, the good old trabeculectomy. If you know how to do it, how to use mitomycin, and when to do a laser suturolysis, till I feel that trabeculectomy is one of the best procedures to control intraocular pressure glaucoma. Thank you very much.